Limbaugh.
The saga continues.
Hey, man, a legend, a way of life. Learn it, love it, live it. Yeah, this notion about Romney and rich people being greedy. People that work for... Remind me again, why is being successful as a result of your own hard work and education, why is that a negative? Why is that greedy? It's like I said earlier this week, if you want greedy is expecting somebody else to pay for your health care. Greedy is expecting somebody else to buy your car. Greedy is expecting somebody else to pay for your food stamp. Greedy is your average Democrat voter. I know, nobody gets rich by themselves. Elizabeth Warren, factory owner, we paved the roads, we built the utilities, we made it possible for you to get rich, all of that. Now, I want to go back this Romney, Grand Cayman stuff offshore, because it's all perception. You know, Romney has all of his finances in a blind trust since 2003. He has no say-so over where his money's invested. Debbie Blabbermouth Schultz does. She can tell her, she can be in total charge of her 401k and where the money goes and where it doesn't go. Romney cannot do that. But you see, the perception of the rich is that they are in total control of everything. They know every secret. They know every trick. They know every way to skirt the law just by being rich, because the way it's been structured by the left for 50 years is that's how you got there. You got there by cheating. You got there by stealing. You got there by skirting the law. You got rich by taking advantage of other people. You didn't get there because of your hard work. And so only these select few who know how to game the system have offshore accounts. And even if you tell them, well, but Romney's money's in a blind trust. Nah, that's what they say, but you know Romney tells his people where to put the money. He's a rich guy. He doesn't trust it anybody else. This is just the perception. Well, the reality is he can't, by law, have anything to say about where the money goes. It's in a blind trust. On the other hand, Debbie Blabbermouth Schultz has a 401k that invests in a Swiss bank. And here she's out on television talking about Romney having a Swiss bank account. So for her 401k invests in a Swiss bank, as well as British banks and even a Danish drug company. So Debbie Blabbermouth Schultz has a 401k that is invested with big pharmaceutical. And since it's a 401k and not a blind trust, there's nothing stopping Debbie Blabbermouth Schultz from knowing about these overseas investments and from removing her funds from them if she wants. She's also out there demanding that since Romney's running for president, he release all of his tax returns. She will not. Debbie Blabbermouth Schultz refuses to disclose her own tax returns, even while she's demanding that Romney release more of his, despite the fact that Romney has released as many returns as anybody else has. Now, here's what she said on I think it was Fox News Sunday. She said, I'd really like to see Mitt Romney release more than 1 year of tax records because there's been disturbing reports recently. He's got a Bermuda corporation, a secretive Bermuda corporation that no one knows anything about, investments in the Caymans, investments in a Swiss bank account. Americans need to ask themselves, why does an American businessman need a Swiss bank account and secretive investments like that? It's just a thought that I'd like to leave people with. And meanwhile, she's got money, although it's smaller amounts, in all of these places. But for a large portion of my life, on the left, the Democrat Party, and just a lot of middle-class people, nobody got rich by earning it. You see, it is rare. The kind of wealth that we're talking about, it really is rare. For example, this statistic still holds. It's pretty close to this. People don't believe this until they have it shown to them or look it up themselves. But if you make $60,000 a year in this country, you're in the top 10%. You are. If your family income is 60 grand, you're in the top. It really hasn't changed much. Now, that may, with all the unemployment, I think that's obviously been some statistical change in that. But the kind of wealth that these people criticize is really rare. Most people can only relate to income via wages. And they just don't see people being paid, other than athletes and entertainers. They don't see people being paid millions of dollars. They know that they will never be paid millions. Nobody is going to have a salary, unless you're an athlete or a movie star, of $1 million. So they say, well, how do these people get it then? Well, they own a business. How many people do you know who think, you small business people, let me ask you, how many people in the community where you own your small business think you are rolling in dough simply because you own a business? I would venture to say that more people than you'd believe think you're rolling in it, and that you just are keeping most of it rather than hiring more people or giving your existing employees raises. And this perception has been fueled and furthered by the American left, the Democrat Party et al., for over 50 years, practically from the beginning of time. It's just human nature. So when you combine the fact that people can't relate to being paid in the form of wages, the kind of money that the wealthy have, and you couple that with their perception that owning a business equals rolling in dough, and then the more dough you have cut corners to get it, you really haven't worked hard. How many people, isn't this the case with union people? They think they're the backbone of America. They think they're the only ones working hard, and they're getting shafted. They ought to be the ones being paid millions of dollars, not the boss, not the investor, not the owner, not the guy who's taking the risk. And that has drifted down to affect a lot of people in the population. Now, the cherry on top of this little ice cream cone is the rich will never defend themselves. There's nothing to be gained doing it. The rich will never speak out. Those that do are also a rarity. And look at those who do. They're considered braggarts, rude, arrogant. If they talk about their wealth, if they brag about how they got it. And so, whereas it used to be in this, we really used to have a country where this is what people aspired to. And they thought it was hard work that got them there. More and more people don't think hard work acquires or leads to the acquisition of wealth, the creation of wealth. They think there are corners cut, that there's some kind of cheating going on. And that's why they're very open to the idea of having these people punished with higher taxes. It's that simple. So the wealthy are not going to defend themselves, and they're not going to take advantage of the opportunity they've got to educate people how they can also do it themselves. The Soviet Union taught people that everybody who had money had to have stolen it. All the Soviet leaders went to the ends of the earth to hide their fabulous wealth. And it's why all of the trappings of their wealth were out in the woods, outside Moscow and outside the cities where the other people couldn't get there. And that mentality is still alive and well in Russia today. And that mentality is alive and well through much of liberalism. That's probably one of the things that drives and motivates Occupy Wall Street, for example. Let me take a brief time out, and we'll come back and continue more of your phone calls after this.